Hello, Net and YouTube. Hi, everybody. Hello, Net and YouTube. Welcome, TikTok refugees, to Net and YouTube. We'll make it better. I'll put it that way. We're going to overthrow Google. We need to seize Google. Well, I've got the TikTok book on. I'm going to go ahead and say, welcome, TikTok refugees. Hello, everybody. Hello, Net and YouTube. We're going to rescue TikTok. We're also going to seize Google and fix Net and YouTube and make it just YouTube again. But, sorry, something was distracting me. Hello, everybody. Hello, Net and YouTube. Hello, TikTok refugees. Welcome to this live I'm going to do about a Taylor Swift lyric. I know everybody's talking about Taylor Swift right now, but they're not talking about this lyric as much as I would like to. So I want to talk about that for a minute. But, whoa. Oh, it was my phone. So, hello, everybody. Hello, Net and YouTube. Hello, Net and YouTube. Welcome to NARPOL, Narcissist Anonymous, and the Fairy Liberation Front. We're doing a combination of those things right now because of a Taylor Swift lyric. Honestly, it inspired me to go live and talk about a Taylor Swift lyric. That's the first time I've ever done that. First time I've discussed T-Swizzle on the channel that I know of. And I'm not doing it for the views because it's hyped up so much right now. I just figured if I talk about Taylor Swift right now, because I have an inspiration to say something about it, then, whoa, sorry, the cat's headbutting my book. Then I'll go ahead and do it. So, mentioning TikTok refugees, I'm just reminded of by, well, Fairy Liberation Front aspect for one, but by Net and YouTube and how we need to save TikTok from being Trump talk. TikTok's been captured and it's now Trump talk, so there should be a lot of TikTok refugees coming to Net and YouTube. And I want to assure people that not only will we rescue TikTok, but we will overthrow the people who are making Net and YouTube so fascist right now too, making it so impossible to see good things, things that you like, and making it, you know, kind of the opposite of what made TikTok so great, but they're now doing to TikTok too. So we need to make that backfire on them. We need to embrace the TikTok refugees as they pour into YouTube. And again, no one's poured into the live yet. I've been live for a couple of minutes now and not a single viewer has arrived. But when you do, be sure to like and share and comment. But yeah, so we will be making YouTube more like TikTok used to be. But we're going to need to do that in order to rescue TikTok. And we need to make it backfire on them that they're ruining TikTok and making it Trump talk by making YouTube the way TikTok used to be. Because one of the most important things that made TikTok what it was us, was our content, our perspective, our expectation to be able to connect and find things. Okay, that's the one thing that Net and YouTube's going to be the opposite of. It makes it, you know, it's like Facebook or Twitter or the other American-run platforms that make sure to, you know, make it look like everybody's right wing, make it look like everybody's a Nazi, make it look like you're all in a Young Republicans group chat all the time. So, hold on, give me a second. I might have to restart the live, but the Taylor Swift lyric that I wanted to discuss, so I can go ahead and address the topic at hand that made me want to open up the first actual official meeting of NARPOL, Narcissist Anonymous, is, you can probably guess. Well, let's see if you can guess. No one's here, but I'll give you a chance to guess in the future if you're watching this video. Live from the future, we're coming back to us now. We just have to get through today. Live from the future, when the walls come down, we will find a whole new way. I don't think there needs to be a tiger here, because this is getting ridiculous. So, okay. So here's the thing. We need to overthrow Google because they, well, for lots of reasons, but most recently because they've donated to Trump's ballroom. So they've supported the terrorist attack on America. He's destroyed half the White House. That's a terrorist attack on America. Google helped pay for it. That's all the excuse I need to seize Google, seize the company of Google, and that includes seizing Net and YouTube, and taking that bad netting off the front of its name, so it just becomes YouTube again. Welcome to the um, welcome to Net and YouTube, TikTok refugees. Welcome to Narpool and Narcissist Anonymous. I'm doing a little thing about Taylor Swift. A lot of people are talking about Taylor Swift. I made the mistake of I messed up and watched a Taylor Swift, watched some of these videos about Taylor Swift's new album, and so it keeps getting suggested to me, more of them. And I actually made a greater mistake of looking for one that I guess got blocked. Um, you know which one it is probably because you've probably seen it before, but you probably can't find it now, just like I couldn't find it now. I've seen it before on YouTube, on Net and YouTube, but I can't find it now. It's just one of the parodies of Taylor Swift's song. Oh, it might be Opalite. I'm not sure which song it was, but anyway. Um, so I was looking for that, and I've seen too many of these Taylor Swift videos suggested to me. So, but it makes me want to do the Narpool support group, the Narcissist Anonymous support group, for shifting people from malignant narcissists to good narcissists, or just to make people realize that narcissism there can be a good side of narcissism, and you can be on it. And I was inspired to talk about this in particular because of the lyric exquisitely, no, it's not exquisitely unique. It's terminal uniqueness. I think she had a lyric called terminal uniqueness, which just, I mean, there's different reasons it makes you cringe. As a person who's like obviously an outsider, as a person who's like unique, I mean, like, yeah, everybody's unique, right? So why is it so offensive to hear Taylor Swift say personal uniqueness? And it's not just that it's offensive. I mean, there's good things about it too, but I have to admit maybe the first response is to cringe at that. But then again, it might be in the context of these videos where people are pointing out a lot of cringeworthy lyrics. But because terminal uniqueness is also interesting. It's also kind of what I call this, a terminal for uniqueness, like a station for unique people, or for uniqueness to flourish. And that's part of what the Narcissist Anonymous Narpool support group is all about, is being like, hey, you can be a narcissist, just be a good narcissist. If you're going to be a narcissist, which you are, let's face it, at least to some degree, just be a good one. And being terminally unique in the T-Swizzle lyric, in the Taylor Swift lyric, means like she's super unique. And it's like, well, what if everybody's super unique? And I came up with this kind of thought experiment for people, but I'll wait for people to arrive. A couple of people came and went, but I'll wait for people to arrive and see if they want to engage in the thought experiment. For the future people, live from the future, we're coming back to us now, we just have to get through today. From the future people, the thought experiment is going to be, like, what would you be doing differently than Taylor Swift if you had the $1 billion that she has, for instance? Does that make you unique, or does that make her unique? Is she uniquely having $1 billion? Or would you have a uniquely $1 billion, or would you be doing about the same thing? Oh, now that somebody's come here, and I'll ask you the thought experiment. Just doing a rare and different live for me. I never talked about Taylor Swift before that I know of in a live. But because she has a lyric, terminally unique, it inspired me to do the first meeting of Narcissist Anonymous, the first Narpool live meeting, and ask you first how that makes you feel. Just the lyric, terminally unique. How does that make you feel? And secondly, do you feel like you are unique, or Taylor Swift is unique in, say, how you would have $1 billion? Is she doing something unique with $1 billion? Or if you had $1 billion, would you be doing something unique with it? And I'm holding up the TikTok book because I'm welcoming TikTok refugees to Net and YouTube. And as I stressed at the beginning of the live, we will be overthrowing Google and Net and YouTube and saving it from these fascists. Just like we should rescue TikTok from becoming Trump talk. We should rescue TikTok from the fascists that took it over recently. And we should, in the meantime, be making YouTube more of what TikTok used to be. We should become that naturally as TikTok refugees come to Net and YouTube. I just want people to realize that the reason Net and YouTube is like this is because it's part part of the same fascist platforms that, like Facebook, Twitter, um, and the other ones that, the way that America runs them. Oh my gosh. What if gravity was optional? We're going with it. It's me defying gravity. I don't know that. If you know the lyrics to that song, if you know the lyrics to that song, go ahead and drop them in the live and I'll try to sing it. Oh, that was interesting. It made the display fade. So anyway, welcome to Narpool. Welcome to Narcissist Anonymous, the support group. Um, you could consider it a contest of narcissism. It's not a contest. I'm just joking, but I'd win. But no, I'm just saying, like, it's really a therapy for shifting negative narcissism and negative outcomes or directions of narcissism to positive narcissism and achieving positive outcomes of narcissism. So my thought experiment was based on Taylor Swift's lyric, terminally unique. And just how does it make you feel? Do you feel like you're more unique than Taylor Swift? Do you feel like you're less unique than Taylor Swift? And then one way to get at that, I think, would be to say, hey, would you have $1 billion in a unique way or in a different way than she does? Or is she having $1 billion in a unique way? Now, um, in your opinion, I don't know. It's just something I thought of as a way to get at people thinking about how unique they are. And if Taylor Swift is, somehow the um, exceptionally unique, terminally unique, and then that, in a fairy sense, the phrase terminally unique is probably what suggested to me to make this a NARPOOL, Narcissist Anonymous support group meeting, because it's like a terminal or a station, like a train station for narcissism. So, how do you guys feel about gravity? Are you guys fans? How do you guys feel about T-Swizzle? It's interesting because Taylor Swift is being, I made the mistake of looking at a Taylor Swift video, and it's been put on my page by Net and YouTube for a while now. And then I was trying to see if I could find one that had a particular parody, which it looks like they've censored. And I suggest to you that you know which parody that is. Maybe they didn't censor it. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. But it makes me think, oh wait, it was really funny, and they probably censored it because it surely was getting views. I would think it was surely going viral, and I would imagine they would censor it. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just oversensitive to net and YouTube censorship because of all the times they'd end up censoring me completely unnecessarily, or since I did not earn or deserve that censorship by doing anything wrong 99.9% of the time, like almost all the time I may have made a mistake. I'm not saying I'm completely perfect, but since I never deserved that censorship, I can tell every time they censor something what their agenda is. I can tell the types of things that they're censoring and who they're trying to protect. Trump, Putin, Netanyahu, who they're trying to protect, the bad guys, when they censor something. So I'll go ahead and sing a song since I didn't really get anybody to engage in the thought experiment. It goes like this. I know this fella always has something to say. He's not the one to tell you night from day. And now he's in your town, there's going to be a way. Just go through him to get out of the gray. In these days we're all astray. Amazing in these nights when all the graves are raised. Who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing worlds away as we fly through the waves. I like this girl, she wants me to turn it in. She asks me where all of my life has been. We never met, just felt that look, and then I wanted to turn out all that lies within. In these days we're all astray. Amazing In these nights when all the graves are raves, who's to say it's all a play? We're gazing world away as we fly through the waves. I was actually doing a special live about a Taylor Swift lyric of all things. There's a Taylor Swift lyric I was doing a live about. I can't read your comment. You'll have to type something else for me to be able to read it. There's a, oh, that's why, because I never hit the button. Okay, now everything's fine. Oh, it's you, never mind. Everything was fine until I realized who it was. Alright, so this is about the Taylor Swift lyric, Terminally Unique, and it inspired me to do a meeting of NARPOol, Narcissist Anonymous. So welcome to the very first meeting of NARPOol, Narcissist Anonymous. Never mind the troll, he doesn't belong here. Narcissist Anonymous is for narcissists. Trolls really aren't. Trolls are kind of the opposite of narcissists. I've never really thought about that before, but I think that makes perfect sense. Trolls are the opposite of narcissists because trolls are never themselves. They're never trying to be themselves. They're never trying to insist that they themselves are who should be listened to or whatever. Narcissists are always doing that. Narcissists are always about themselves. It's me, Mario. So the fact that narcissists are always about themselves and trolls are never about themselves. Trolls are always pretending to be something else, being fake, being losers. Narcissists are always being winners, and they're always about themselves. Now, whether or not they're really winning, they're always about themselves winning. Trolls are never about themselves. So it's the opposite ends of the spectrum. So trolls, you don't need to be here. You can go away. I don't know how I'm being a hypocrite. You're a troll. You don't belong in a narcissist support group. It's like, welcome to Narcissist Anonymous. Right now we're talking about the Taylor Swift lyric, Terminally Unique. How does the phrase terminally unique make you feel? If you're a TikTok refugee, welcome to Net and YouTube. Net and YouTube. Welcome to Net and YouTube. If you're a TikTok refugee, we will be rescuing TikTok. We will be overthrowing Trump and Netanyahu and Putin. We will be rescuing TikTok from becoming Trump Talk. And we will be making YouTube more like TikTok used to be in the meantime. Not only that, we will be seizing Google, overthrowing Net and YouTube's leaders, and fixing Net and YouTube as well. Alright, troll, do we need to read your comments while no one else is here? I guess maybe we can make you into a narcissist. Maybe narcissism can cure your trolling. So I'm going to read your comments, by which I mean the comments that you wrote from your troll persona. And your comments are, nice voice, but unfortunately you use it for misinformation. Taylor Swift is not good. Don't be a hypocrite, Euless. Taylor Swift isn't good at singing. Well, I might be good at singing, okay? But I'm sure she's fine at singing. I'm talking about a particular lyric that she writes. I mean, plenty of people like her singing, so I think she's probably good enough at it, you know, for your opinion not to really matter. But I was talking about a lyric that she supposedly wrote, a lyric that she wrote called, the lyric goes, terminally, oh my gosh, Kanye made Trump, and so if he made Taylor Swift too, that's not like, that doesn't balance out, that's still in the evil, or it's extra evil, you know, like, I don't know, but that's not an endorsement, you know, that's a condemnation. So I'm not really here to say bad things about Taylor Swift. Like, you can see that on plenty of other videos. You know, it's because I watched some of those that I thought of this on the one hand, but it's because I watched some of those that I was even aware of this lyric. But the lyric is terminally unique. And say, what's unique about yourself? You're a troll. You say all the same things that every other Trump Putin troll says. So you're kind of the opposite of uniqueness. But, you know, prove me wrong. What's something unique about you? Okay, and how do you feel about Taylor Swift's lyric, terminally unique? And welcome TikTok refugees to Net and YouTube. We will be overthrowing Net and YouTube. We will be rescuing TikTok. Welcome to the first meeting of NARPOol, Narcissist Anonymous. This is a support group for narcissists, or to shift negative narcissism to positive narcissism, like Mario has. It's a me, Mario. So, welcome. It's about identity and having an identity. It's not really for trolls, because trolls really do, I mean, trolls have an identity, but they're not being their identity at all. They're being something the opposite of the identity. It's kind of what MAGA and Trump-Hooteniers all are trolls who are being the opposite of a human identity. And we need to cure that. We need to say, hey, have some self-esteem, have some narcissism, care about your true self instead of being this MAGA traitor. Trump's knocked down half the White House so far. He'll probably be knocking down the other half, and all of y'all will have helped him. And you've already helped him knock down half the White House. It's pretty significant. We should stop him, and we should stop all the people who helped him. And you're going to be embarrassed for having helped him all this time. So you might as well quit. It's kind of like if you found out your favorite artist was like racist or something, and then you don't necessarily have to be embarrassed for listening to him, for having listened to him before you realize they were racist. You don't have to be embarrassed for that, but you might be embarrassed if you continue listening to him once you know they're racist. That's what I feel about Morrissey. Like, I might still enjoy his songs, you know, I don't know, I might enjoy his songs enough to want to perform his songs sometimes, but that doesn't make him not racist. He'd have to be not racist for me to want to go see his concert again, you know. So anyway, this is mostly about Taylor Swift's lyric, Terminally Unique, and how that makes you feel. Unfortunately, the only person in the live is a troll who doesn't have uniqueness. I asked him 5 minutes ago to make a comment about what makes him unique, and he couldn't come up with anything. So it did make me realize that narcissism and trolling are kind of the opposite. Being a narcissist and being a troll are, well, can be kind of the opposite, although malignant narcissists are giant trolls. So that's the problem. Like, there's a sweet spot, or a correct direction of narcissism that does not go to the malignant egotistical narcissism. And I guess for me, the key to that is realizing that the thing that you want to be so excited about in yourself is in everybody else too. The really unique thing about you is you're the only person who can experience it in you. But so is everybody else the only person who can experience it in them. So welcome to Narpool, Narcissist Anonymous, support group for narcissists. First meeting ever, first live meeting ever. So thanks for being here. I may have been on this topic before, but I decided to do a whole live just about narcissism, inspired by Taylor Swift's lyric, T-Swizzle's lyric, Terminally Unique, terminal uniqueness. And to ask if you benefit from terminal uniqueness. Now, I feel like somebody who is unique and an outsider. Taylor Swift, not so much an outsider. And that's what makes me think everybody's unique. But what it comes down to is, do you have a support network? Not just $1 billion, but people who just love you, or people that are going to support you and make you comfortable in becoming who you really are. Do you have that enough to become who you really are? You know, has Taylor Swift become who she really is with her billions of dollars and ability to do anything and have all the support of millions of people? If you had such support, then who would you become? You know, what is it about you that would be able to come out if you didn't have to worry about anything, you know, like consequences or anything? You didn't have to worry about loss or risk or anything like that. You didn't have to worry about approval because you had that. Who would you be? And then that question evolved into, you know, how would you have $1 billion differently than Taylor Swift? Is she unique because she's having $1 billion, or whatever else about her that you want to focus on? But let's just say she has $1 billion. Is Taylor Swift unique because she has $1 billion in a unique way of having $1 billion? Is she so terminally unique that she's also unique in the way she has $1 billion? How would you have $1 billion? If I gave you $1 billion right now, how would you have it? Would you be different than Taylor Swift? Would you be like Taylor Swift? And which one of you is unique? Which one of you is more unique? Have you ever really considered how unique you are and how unique you would become, say, if you just, for instance, if you had $1 billion? And I think people might think about, you know, I would do this, I would buy that. if I won the lottery, if I had some excess amount of money. But who would you be? Who would you be if you had all the power and support and resources to be whatever you are? So I'm just asking, are you more unique than Taylor Swift? Just because she has the lyric terminal uniqueness. And I want to make NARPOOL, the Narcissist Support Group, Narcissist Anonymous, a terminal, a station for narcissists to be able to come and say, hey, here's some funny thing I said because I'm a narcissist. This is my name. Hi, my name is this. I'm a narcissist, and this is some funny thing I said. And we'll help cure each other of negative narcissism and enhance and even um, collaborate with a positive narcissism. And I think the key to that is recognizing that the thing that would make you a narcissist, or the thing that makes you you, the thing within you that is you, is unique to you because you're the only one experiencing it through you. But it's the same as everybody else has got too. Just they're unique because they're experiencing it and they're the only one experiencing it through them. You would be me and you're way better. So what's something unique about you? Because I submit that you're a troll, and that trolls are the opposite of narcissists. Trolls are the opposite of unique because you're always identical to all the other trolls. The main difference between you trolls, you Trump Boutonniere trolls, is some of you brag about being Nazis and the other ones act like you don't know what Nazis mean and like that you're not, even though you agree on every other thing, like you needed any other proof that you're Nazis. So yeah, I think we need to cure negative narcissists and Nazis and Trump Boutonnieres and shift you all to becoming positive narcissists and Americans, or humans again. We need to shift you from the Antichrist Jesus, who's lied to you and made you all into trolls, to the anti-king of no kings, the real Jesus, who's like the leader of the elves, the leader of the good guys. Okay, so anyway, see, there you go again. You're like, you don't know what Nazi means. I just told you what Nazi means. It means you, because you agree with people who come in here or brag about being Nazis. You agree with them on every other thing, except you act like you have two different approaches to trying to normalize Nazism and deny what Nazism is and tell you, rip off the armband and show the real armband. You guys are all on brand for your armband. But again, I'm not here to talk to you trolls. You should not be in a narcissist support group. You don't have any ego or self or anything. You don't have consciousness. You're not woke. You're not aware of anything, including yourself. So you're not. My suspicion is that that's not your name. You're LARPing as someone who you're not. That's a troll. That's the opposite of a narcissist. So we got to stop. We got to stop talking in Demetrius Antoine. You don't deserve to be here. You don't need to be here. You're someone we can make an example of to teach a lesson, but you're not who we're talking to. Okay? This is not the group for you until you can activate some type of spirit or identity or being besides Putin. You're the sheep, dude. You're the freaking Trump Boutonniere zombie. You've never said anything different than every other Trump Boutonniere bot, troll, liar, traitor, pedophile, Nazi. That's what you're just exactly like them. There's one difference. Some of them brag about being Nazis. That's what's so fucking crazy. You can't see the other people, not right now, but when other people comment in this live and they brag about being Nazis and then you agree about every other thing. No, there's two of us here talking. You're a traitor. I shouldn't have to talk to you. Not only because you're a traitor, but because you have no place in this live. This live is for narcissists, for talking about Taylor Swift, who you already said you don't like. And Taylor Swift has a lyric, terminally unique, or terminal uniqueness. And that doesn't apply to you. None of this applies to you. Okay? Do I need to block you or make you go away or just end the live because you're ruining it for everyone? Then you'll be glad you ruined it for everyone. No, I just had an insight to do this live. I was hoping I could talk to a human or even a narcissist. Instead, I get the opposite. Hello, Net and YouTube. But anyway, I'll go back to talking about welcome TikTok refugees. Welcome TikTok refugees. Welcome to Net and YouTube. You'll find that Net and YouTube is much the same way it was when you left. That it wants to be TikTok. That's one interesting thing. You'll notice that Net and YouTube has been trying to be TikTok for so long that you can actually use it like TikTok, except nobody's here yet. But hey, didn't you wish you'd gotten on the ground floor of TikTok and started doing your content there before everybody showed up, so that you were one of the um, you know big creators or established creators? Well, you can do that on YouTube, on Net and YouTube. Now, we should be seizing Google. We should be overthrowing the leadership of Net and YouTube. One reason we should do it is because they're fascist, and they're um, censoring. Their censorship is obviously to protect Trump, Putin, Netanyahu fascism, and so we need to overthrow Net and YouTube for that reason. That's why we need to seize this platform, seize this app, and run it in an American way, pretty much the way TikTok used to be run. And it's like you don't need TikTok's algorithm, you just need the people that were there, and you need to let them talk to each other like TikTok used to do. It doesn't really matter that much how you let them talk to each other, just you let people who like each other talk to each other instead of only putting Nazis in everybody's life. I'm sure mine is worse. Mine's the worst one for being sandbagged with Nazis because they can't stand what I have to say. Like, they have to suppress this message because I say things like automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacts. I say things that if you just say them, you end Trumpism. I say things like Jesus set Judas aside to replace all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. I say things that end Trumpism. And they can't have that. So they suppress me by sandbagging me with trolls. The same trolls all the time. The same six-pack clan of trolls. There's only one of them here now, but because they did their duty, it's okay, like, I'll do another Narpool Anonymous, this doesn't count as the first meeting of Narcissist Anonymous because I was the only one here. I've done that before. I've made a video about narcissism before, but I was the only person here. So the next one will be the first Narpool Narcissist Anonymous, but who knows when that'll be, honestly. It's kind of like Demetrius Antoine just ruined it for everybody. I know what we'll do. We'll read Demetrius Antoine's channel activity before we go. He joined a year ago. He has 24 subscribers. In this live, he said, "The Nazi is you. You hate Jewish people. You hate America. You hate Israel. You support Islam. You call us Nazis, but you always have a thing about hating Jewish people." Not true, but get a job like the rest of us. And remove Trump for destroying the White House from 1024, he said, "I'm a winner and hell yeah." In White House down from 1023, he said, "God forever, JD Vance 2028, Trump 2028. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read it in Russian. Never mind. Somebody else is here. They could be a human. So, if you're not a troll, you're welcome in the live. Especially if you're... Oh, it's Mr. Troll. That cool. You want to stick around for a little bit? Taylor Swift... Isn't Taylor Swift an Antichrist? I don't know. We were touching on that earlier. I was only talking about one specific. It's seeming like she's racist from everybody's take on her album, which does make her a bad person. I'm talking about one particular lyric that doesn't really get into all that, although I'm glad to get into all that. I'm not going to brush her racism under the rug. But the one lyric I was talking about was terminally unique or terminal uniqueness. I don't even know exactly what it is, but it made me want to open the first meeting of Narcissist Anonymous. So now that you, a real person, is here, we can have the first meeting of Narcissist Anonymous if you'd like, or we can veer into Fairy Liberation Front and welcome TikTok refugees to Net and YouTube and remind everybody we will be rescuing TikTok from becoming Trump Talk, and we will be rescuing YouTube to be YouTube instead of Net and YouTube. Okay, Mr. Forduck said, "Isn't Taylor Swift an antichrist?" Maybe. I don't know. That's not exactly what I was talking about, but yeah, we're welcome to talk about it. "I swear Taylor was a MAGA during his first run." Yeah, anybody who's not stopping Trump is helping him, and at this point, you've helped him destroy half the White House. So you're a traitor, and we need to stop him before he destroys the rest of the White House. and everything else he's doing. It's not the worst thing he's doing, but it's pretty visually damning. Okay? So yeah, she seems like a traitor because I don't know that she's. I mean, to me, I absolutely love Lady Gaga. Like I worship Lady Gaga, except that it seems like she's maybe become a traitor because she didn't use her power to stop Trump. Just like I don't see Taylor Swift did some things to supposedly stop Trump, but obviously we didn't stop him. And then I've heard that she's recently been with MAGA. You know, she has like MAGA friends or something. No, it's not the way to do it right now. That's not the look to have. You look like a traitor. You look like you helped him knock down half the White House. So you've pretty much got to use your resources against him. And I don't know that she's been doing that. Earth to Eve, however, I just covered the Earth to Eve chorus for her song. No kings, no gods, just flesh and blood. Down here there's laws that no man's above. No kings, no gods, not one of us. You're all alone when the crown comes off and your kingdom's gone. It's a great song. So check that out anyway. But I hope you'll stick around longer, Mr. Turtle Duck, next time. Mr. Turtle Duck always passes through and says a word of encouragement, which is much appreciated. But he seems like he's always late on a very important date. So, hello, welcome to the live. Thank you for the likes. This is a very special live. Okay, so this is a very special live that we've never done before. Maybe it's not registering the people who are in the live. Somebody was giving me hearts, so thanks for the hearts. And welcome if you're a TikTok refugee. We will be rescuing TikTok. We will be overthrowing Net and YouTube and seizing Google. All the companies that are funding Trump's terrorist attack on the White House, Google is included in that, we need to seize. We need to seize those companies, arrest their leadership for supporting a terrorist attack on the White House. Trump's just finishing what Osama bin Laden was going to do. Like, that's what he is. So we need to go ahead and call them out for that. Anybody who's not stopping him is helping him. Two people just cruise through and help Trump by doing nothing to stop him. I mean, you could have liked the live. Somebody was liking the live. But you can leave a comment. You can help stop Trump. Okay? I was going to be talking about, but see, we got a troll in here. And trolls are the opposite of narcissists. I was going to talk about narcissism, positive narcissism. Trolls aren't even like negative narcissists. I guess some of them are, but most of them are just zombies. They're just brainwashed. We've got a triggered one now. Yay. I might as well shut down the live. It's been pretty worthless. But give it a better chance of having one of the good things I said earlier be the highlight. So if you're just joining us, though, especially if you're just joining us from TikTok, if you're a TikTok refugee, now that it's become Trump talk, we will rescue TikTok. We will save humanity. We will rescue YouTube. We're going to overthrow Net and YouTube, and we're going to seize Google. We're going to seize Google amongst all the other companies that have supported this terrorist attack. Thank you, Astar. I love you too. They've destroyed half the White House. It's one of the final targets of Osama bin Laden, and they're completing Osama bin Laden's mission. Trump and Google and all the companies that are paying for it, all the supporters like Demetrius Antoine, all the trolls are supporting it. They're all traitors. They're all foreign agents. So we're going to seize their companies. That means Google. We're going to rescue Net and YouTube. When we rescue Net and YouTube and make it just YouTube again, so that it's you and me and what we want, we'll get it like to where TikTok used to be. And now they're making TikTok into Trump talk. They're making TikTok terrible and kicking everybody off. So my recommendation is before they kick you off TikTok, download everything you like. Bring it over here to Net and YouTube and post it and get credit for it or whatever. I mean, to the extent that you can. Everybody's videos that you like, bring them with you. Share them on Net and YouTube. I use the hashtag TikTok on YouTube. Sorry about the triggered troll in comments. This is supposed to be for narcissists only, but trolls don't listen. So his comments were, "Mega USA, get mad, lib," all in caps. "I'm more American than you'll ever be." He's not like the opposite of American. He's a MAGA. And those guys just did a terrorist attack on our capital. They destroyed half our capital so far. They'll probably destroy the rest of it unless we stop them. If you're not trying to stop them, then you're helping them. And even though this live is supposed to be about Taylor Swift and her lyric, Terminally Unique, yeah, even in a live about Taylor Swift with the lyric Terminally Unique, it's not even 6 degrees. It's 1 degree of separation from talking about Trump destroying the White House. So all these other videos about Taylor Swift should also mention, oh yeah, and Trump's destroying the White House, so we need to stop him. You know, it's like the worst thing Taylor Swift did is probably not even her racist lyrics. It's probably helping Trump destroy the White House because she's not stopping him. So are you going to stop him? You know? But anyway, this wasn't about those lyrics anyway. Everybody else is talking about those lyrics. I don't have the expertise to talk about those lyrics. I have seen some of those videos because I watched some of those videos, and yet YouTube wants to show me that stuff instead of useful stuff about, for instance, Trump destroying the White House. So, okay, so she's Antichrist. As the only other contributor to this chat said, Demetrius Antoine, the pedophile, traitor, Nazi, Trump-Hootenier, says, Taylor Swift is mega. So, if she is, then she deserves not only this hate, but she deserves to have, she deserves not only this hate, she deserves to have her company seized. She deserves to have her assets seized, just like Google does, just like Net and YouTube does, just like TikTok does. We need to seize it and arrest whoever it is. Who's the guy that just bought TikTok? Arrest that dude. Seize all his assets. Okay? This is how we fix this shit. I call it the Pillow Revolution because we can do it from bed, just like we got Jimmy Kimmel back on air from bed. Just like we stopped the genocide in Gaza to some degree from bed. You did that. You're the one who did that on your phone. So let's celebrate it, let's duplicate it, and let's perpetuate it. Let's continue stopping the genocide in Gaza. Let's continue stopping the genocide in Ukraine. Let's continue stopping the genocide in USA. Let's celebrate our wins. Let's duplicate our wins. Let's perpetuate our wins and make them bigger, make them deeper, make them come true. When a video goes viral about cops arresting ICE agents, be a part of that. Comment, like, share. Be a part of this. Welcome to Nardpool. Welcome to Narcissist Anonymous. Welcome to the Narcissist Support Group and the Pillar Revolution. We are overthrowing Trump. Part of that is overthrowing Trump because he's destroying the White House. Let's stop him. You can see that the Nazis have a specific agenda, and you can tell what their agenda is by what they have their trolls say. It would be appreciated, in fact, I'll probably shut down the live if you can't muster up the energy for an emoji or some sort of comment. Other person who's not a troll and a Nazi, hopefully. Net and YouTube only picks trolls and Nazis for my live. So when somebody else comes in, it's a rare and wonderful occurrence. We can celebrate you. Then we can hopefully duplicate you. Then we can hopefully perpetuate you. You can see what the problem is. We have the problem in comments. So we need someone to comment who's not a traitor and a Nazi who's part of a terrorist attack on America. Okay? Thank you for the hearts. I apologize for the troll. This is supposed to be a support group for narcissists. But we have the opposite of a narcissist, a troll who's ashamed of what he is and just spews Putin propaganda, Nazi bullshit, pedo-protecting bullshit all the time. So, until we get somebody who has a soul, a personality, an identity, something like that in the live, it's pretty much a failed live. And I don't really want to do another live about Taylor Swift and her lyric terminally unique. I'll probably terminate the live because it's too unique for for netting YouTube. So, yes, a troll ruined the live, ruined 45 minutes of my time. Yeah, a troll did that. Wow, I've been conquered by a troll. Another win for a troll, for a Nazi, another win for a Nazi. Oh, imagine how can Net and YouTube rig everything so that Nazis win all the time? How can Net and YouTube always do that every single day instead of letting anyone talk to anyone that they want to talk to? Well, we have to make that effort. We have to try to talk to people that we want to talk to because Net and YouTube will not let that happen. If you're a refugee from TikTok, where you're used to being able to see things you like, you have to make that happen on Net and YouTube. But we will. We will overthrow the people who run Net and YouTube, just like they overthrow the people who run TikTok. We'll overthrow them. We will take TikTok back. We will rescue TikTok from these fascists. But first, we need to seize Google. We seize Google because they funded the terrorist attack on the White House. We seize all the companies that funded the terrorist attack on the White House. No, Demetrius, you've never won. You've only ever been a Nazi. You guys are always losers. You will only ever lose. You lost, any ability to be significant or matter in this life. You could have taken this as an opportunity to change what you are into a human, into something, into a person. But you're not. Say you want to be a real boy, so why run away from me? I'm the voice inside your head now. I'm your closest company. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. You smashed me when I tried to warn ya, ignored my ghost along the way. Tricked into gold farming, they tied you to a tree until the fairy saved the day. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. They tried to hide you in a donkey's skin and ears. They tried to hide you in a whale. They tried to hide you in a puppet show of fears, pinned inside a splinter jail. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. So, we'll be escaping from this Nazi pedophile. We'll be shutting down the live so the Nazi pedophile won't get a chance to talk anymore. We'll be closing down the live because the only person that Net and YouTube picked for the live who was capable of comment was Mr. Turtle Duck for 2 comments. And then it put this Nazi in here, this Nazi pedophile, who brags about being able to troll because he cannot brag about being a person. He cannot brag about anything good about himself because there is no such thing. There is nothing good about him. All right, you'll win if you can say something good about yourself. But you can't, so I won. You see how that worked? I won in overtime. No, I'm not going to shut it down. I'm going to insist that you recognize, and the other person recognize, that I won because you can't even say something good about yourself. Let's see you do it. Is it because you're a bot? Trump boutonnieres are indistinguishable from bots. MAGA Trump boutonniere trolls are completely indistinguishable from bots and, well, Nazis. They're all Nazis and pedophiles. And Net and YouTube is only putting Nazis and pedophiles in my life. But it is open for TikTok refugees now that they've captured TikTok, and we need to make TikTok free again. We need to stop Trump. We need to stop Trump from his terrorist attack on the White House. We have all the reason we need to seize Google and all these other companies that have funded this terrorist attack on the White House. And when we seize Google, Net and YouTube is a subsidiary of Google. So we just need to also arrest the people who have been running Net and YouTube, replace them with Americans, and with humans, replace them with non-Trump boutonnieres, and we'll fix Net and YouTube as well. Yeah, you can't say anything good about yourself, can you? Because all you are is a troll. There is nothing good about you. So I won. I'll give you a chance to try to win, but you're not going to win. Try to say one good thing about yourself. You can't do it because you're a troll. You're a Nazi. You're a pedophile. There is nothing good about those things that you are. Now, you could try to say something good about yourself, but you're more interested in helping Trump's terrorist attack succeed, destroying the White House for Google and Putin and all these Nazis, including the Nazis that run Net and YouTube. You can't say a single good thing about yourself. It's pathetic. And the thing you tried to say that was good about yourself, you're trying to pretend it's good, and you're acting like it's about yourself instead of showing that you're a Nazi zombie, is I'm MAGA. And we can continue to go live just so you realize you have no power. Be gone, you have no power here. You've been saying shut it down, and I haven't shut it down, you fucking Nazi censoring piece of shit. You want to shut down the release of the Epstein files because you're a pedophile. Keep revealing you're a pedophile. You're a terrorist who's just completed a terrorist attack on half of our White House, and you're probably going to help him do the terrorist attack on the rest of the White House. You're a Nazi. You support Trump. You're a pedophile. You support Trump. You're the least desirable people in the history of humanity. The most hated people in the history of humanity. Trump boutonnieres. No one wants Putin's puppy. Everyone hates Trump. Every single human hates Trump. Every single one. Name an exception of a human who doesn't hate Trump. And it looks like, maybe Taylor Swift doesn't hate Trump enough. We were gathered here to have a historic event. It was ruined by a troll. But we were gathered here to have an historic event. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to try it again. But we will be overthrowing Net and YouTube for making every live a fucking Nazi terror cell. Be a Nazi. Or don't. Stop being what you are. All right, I'm going to extract the curses from Demetrius Antoine and curse Trump with them. I'm going to extract the curses from Demetrius Antoine and curse Putin with them. I'm going to extract the curses from Demetrius Antoine and curse Netanyahu with them. You never do anything. This is the most influence or consequence you've ever had in your life, getting me to talk to you and respond to your Nazi bullshit, which I will only do as a cautionary example, so everybody knows that everybody hates you fucking Nazis, and we're going to hunt you down. Nazi hunting is a very noble profession for the rest of your goddamn lives, especially once you've destroyed the White House and people finally wake the fuck up to you terrorist motherfuckers. You did what Bin Laden failed to do. You're worse than Bin Laden. You personally are worse than bin Laden. And what happened to him? He's swimming with Jeffrey Epstein now around their private island. Anyway, I've had enough Nazis. I've had enough silent Nazis. There's been 2 or 3 silent Nazis in here the whole goddamn time. And y'all can all fuck off. All humans hate you. We always will. Y'all are the worst people who have ever existed. MAGA never wins. Only thing MAGA can do is incriminate itself. Now the evidence is you've destroyed half the White House. You're bragging about it because you're a Nazi and a terrorist. You're bragging about it, proving you're a Nazi, terrorist, pedophile. You've increased the chances that the highlight will be of you being a Nazi and a pedophile and a terrorist. You've increased those chances. I'll read all your comments before we go. Russian accent, Nazi comments. Here we go. Taylor Swift is not good. Don't be a hypocrite, Euless. Taylor Swift isn't good at singing. Kanye made Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is Tool. Take your own advice. I'm better than Taylor Swift. I would be me, and I'm way better. You don't know what Nazi mean. You were wrong anyway. Don't be sheep. The only traitor is you. You are terminally online. Get a job like the rest of us. Isn't Taylor Swift an antichrist? Oh, wait, sorry. That was a human comment. A human came in very briefly, just one. We probably had about 24 Nazis and silent Nazis. But we did have one human once who said, Mr. Turtle Duck, said, isn't Taylor Swift an antichrist? I swear Taylor was MAGA during the first run. Okay, now back to the Nazi pedophile Trump-Putin terrorist comments from Demetrius Antoine. You can tell that it's a Nazi pedophile Trump-Putin terrorist comments by the fact that I'm reading it in the Russian accent. Taylor Swift should be MAGA. MAGA is actually helping her. Don't you ever say that, you evil liar. Screw you, loser. Okay, Astar was a human who came in briefly and said, I love your life. So we had 2 humans. We had 2 humans and probably a dozen or two dozen Nazis and silent Nazis. We had 1 vocal Nazi, a dozen or 24 silent Nazis. Demetrius Antoine, MAGA USA, get mad, Lib. I'm more American you'll ever be. MAGA 2028, MAGA USA, cry harder. Taylor Swift is MAGA. Nothing happened in Gaza. Israel isn't hurting Gaza. Hamas is hurting Gaza. Crying in the life. Make me mod, make me mod, make me mod. I'd won. Another win for me. Like sexual predator energy much? Rapist energy much? Child molester, pedophile protecting pedophile energy much? I win, you lose, I win, you lost. I won, you lost. We win, I won, you lost. I won, you lost. I won, you lost. Ha ha ha, cope harder. I won, go cups. Oh, go cope. I won, you lost. I win, you lost. You're on the losing streak. Muted this crap song. I win once again. Goodbye, shut it. Shut it down now. Goodbye, good boy, shut it down. Sexual harassment, always a sexual harassment. Good boy, shut it down. Shut it down now. Something good, I won. I won, that's good, LMAO. Okay, now shut down the live like a good boy. I told him to say one good thing about himself. Couldn't do it. Shut it down now. Shut down now live, I said. I'm MAGA. Okay, now shut it down like a good boy. Have you on leash? I know Eric Trump knows he's a good boy. And he's glad Trump tells everybody he's a good boy. Whimper now, Putin's puppy. Put Putin's puppy in the pound. Shut it down, boy. Don't make me put the leash back on. MAGA, shut down the live now. I'll come back and force you to shut it down like a Nazi in this live too. Shut it down. Shut it down now. I Nazi, shut down now. MAGA won't shut down. Shut it down now. Shut it down. Burn the books. Burn the books. Such a Nazi. Listen to Master. I read like good boy. The cult is real. No, the Nazis are not real. The trolls are not real. We, the people, the real people, and the all spirits against you fucking Nazis are real. You guys are all terrorists. You knocked down the White House. You're going to have consequences for that. You piece of shit Nazi.